Look at all these faces I love. I don't really need to be here. I just wanted to see some people.
I get it. You can always be somebody that is not here.
There you go.
Hey, Vic.
Yeah.
I'm glad you joined us, Vicki. I couldn't stand it. It was too quiet.
I thought everybody's mics were off.
Well, some of them are.
Yeah, I turned mine on.
Well, this is Judge Terry. I'll be right on with you guys. Just want to remind you that we are live streaming, so to comply
So
with the open
behave
court chat,
ourselves.
I'll be right back with you guys. Feel free to chat. Just remember, it's
She knows us
Streaming on
well.
Well, you know, she sent out the email earlier that said you must appear if you don't turn in your ad litem report. And I responded with, don't threaten me with a good time.
I know I'm the same way. I got my report filed and I'm like, well, hey, this may be the only chance I have to see them for a while.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, my kids are going through withdrawals. If we go anywhere, like just for a walk, and he sees people far away, he's like screaming at them. And I'm like, he misses people.
Yeah. And they may be getting tired of just being around parents. I know my dogs are getting tired of being just around me.
My dogs are loving anyone being home with them.
You must have Labradors.
I have a lab husky mix.
Labs are always happy to see you.
Oh, he loves
Even if you-
everyone. Bad
Even if you
guys,
just leave to go to the
burglars,
kitchen.
everyone.
So how's your life, Rules?
Overworked, underpaid, and bored. I mean, I can take the first two. That's typical, but the bored.
Yeah.
You should do more emergency hearings. I'm swamped.
I don't know about that. I have had a fun time with house repairs.
Those are
Oh,
the worst.
The
Yeah,
honeydew.
so before this, I was soldering a copper pipe into place.
But you're getting it done. When did you have time before?
That's true.
and your lovely bride is enjoying that, I bet.
Yeah, I think she could do with a little less of me.
She's got him underfoot.
I meant the honeydews.
Oh, yeah. Me being outside working on the plumbing, she's fine with. I think she's going to write a letter to the judges.
Please take him off my hands.
Oh, yeah. Give him a contested hearing.
I have
if I
a
had
feeling
time, I
you'd
would just
still
go
be
the rest
doing
of the
that
day and
myself.
listen to everyone's updates about what's going on in your COVID lives. All right, so we are, again, in order to comply with Article 1, Section 13 of the Texas Constitution, we are streaming live on YouTube. This is, well, there's several things set for today. Most of our permanency reviews, we have ad litem who have submitted reports and did not need to appear on Zoom. I believe we have one where we are missing an ad litem report, so we'll have to take care of that one. And then I do believe that the on Williams matter is set, well, that's a 3 o'clock. Let me see. I have a 2 o'clock. The hall matter, is that where most of you are here for, is the hall matter? Is that right?
I
Yes,
believe
sir.
I think it was a specific link that was sent to us just for the hall matter.
Yeah, well, I think we're using the same one for all of them. She
Oh,
may
okay.
have done it separately, but we'll be using the same link for all of the CPS needs this afternoon. Okay, so this is a permanency hearing before final order in cause number 103080. Sorry, this is all so new. Now everything's organized as if it's being done by submission, so I have to unorganize it to do a virtually live hearing. And when we were doing those, I wasn't used to having all this paperwork, so let's see if we can do this hybrid thing. Okay, so Ms. Jewett, let's see. Ms. Jewett is on behalf of the department. Ms. Craven, you represent Ms. Hall, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then Laura Ganoza had an alleged father at some point, and then Robbie Greenhall, Jean Hopkins had him, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. And my client is downloading Zoom and trying to join us as we speak.
Okay, Ms. Hopkins, okay, all right. Okay, and just a reminder, if everyone can keep their cell phones on silent as if we are in court, so we don't have Zoom distractions. And if it's not your hearing and you want to stay on, if you could mute yourself so to avoid any background interruptions. Okay. And Ms. Van Hoof, you have the child, that's right.
Yes, Your Honor. Children.
Yeah, that's right, the children. Gosh, I saw this one multiple times for months, and it's been a while now. Okay, so what were the DNA test results? They confirmed Mr. Greenhaw is the father,
That's correct, Judge.
and so that would explain why Ms. Ganoza doesn't need to be here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so at this point, I have Ms. Jewett's email. Did everybody else see that where mother has executed a relinquishment?
Judge, I think just to go back, Mikey Brown was, I think, the alleged father of Hayla, if I'm not incorrect. So Robbie Greenhall basically confirmed he's the dad of Paisley.
Okay,
But I think we still have two alleged fathers on Hayla. We have John Noel and Mikey Brown.
That
So-
sounds right.
Okay.
it only lists Mikey Brown as alleged here on the permanency hearing order, so there's still. Yeah, Mr. Brown and Mr. Noel.
And John Noel was served, Judge, but he never appeared or requested an attorney be appointed. So he doesn't have an attorney appointed, but he was served.
That's interesting because we were going ahead and appointing them anyways if they were served. I thought,
This was quite a while back, though.
yeah. Well, yeah, this was June of last year when that happened, I believe. So maybe that's before we decided to go ahead and do that. So I may have to go ahead and let me see, but trying to think. But Mr. Brown did request an attorney.
He was by affidavit of diligent search, Judge. So he's got a diligent search attorney.
Oh, no, that's right. I see my note on that now. He is a diligent search.
But I was just informed that he was located recently in the Hood County Jail. And so
I see that in your email now. Yeah.
And so we're going to go ahead and try to get him served. Hopefully he won't be out anytime soon. I tried to look him up right before the hearing, but I couldn't quite get there. So
Has anyone notified Laura Ganoza? Well, she would have got, I mean, I know she got she was
she
sent an
notified
email.
us. She notified us that she found it.
Oh, okay.
Judge, she asked me to sit in on this hearing for her. She's my office mate, and she did locate him and notify the department of his location.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Newman. So that, okay, that clarifies all of that mess. I remember this one was quite the puzzle with all the
And so we
alleged
did,
fathers.
right, today I am trying to get service requested on him as soon as we can so that maybe we can get him served while he's in the jail.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. And Mr. Newman's here. I just thought you missed us. All right, so mom has executed a relinquishment. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, she did, and we were set for trial and it got extended, so it hasn't been accepted by a court yet.
Okay. I'm sure there's a way to work out at least getting that filed and accepted.
It's filed, it's irrevocable at this point. It's a matter
It's
of
already
the
been
court
okay.
accepting in the final order.
Okay, And then Mr. Greenhaw, I'm seeing is in a treatment facility in Corpus Christi. Is that correct?
He will be entering one, the, on this Wednesday. Wait, I leave for 9 months of rehab Wednesday. So I don't know if that's a week from today or later on today. I just received these texts from my client, Your Honor, at 2:02 this afternoon.
Okay. What will be interesting is if going forward, once we're able to have a live final hearing on this, if going forward, we would be able to have him appear via Zoom or something like that.
Mhm.
That's what will be interesting. Can't wait to find that kind of stuff out. And then, okay, so we still need to do, there still needs to be a paternity test done then on Mr. Brown and Mr. Noel, if he can even be found. So, okay, and we're coming up on a dismissal date of 9/23. We do need to go ahead and try to set a final though. So let's get one set. Let's see if we can get one set for late July. Oh, Mr. Greenhaw's coming in. Here we go.
Janine, did you say he'd be there for 9 months?
That's what his text said to me just as we were texting right before and the beginning of the hearing.
Okay, he's trying to connect right now still. I want to make sure he's here. Mr. Greenhaw, if you can connect with your audio, that would be helpful. This is Judge Terry. Okay, now we can see him. Can you hear us, Mr. Greenhaw? Okay, we can't hear you at all. So if you can make sure that your mute function, that you're not muted. I think he's still, Mr. Greenhaw, can you hear us? Okay, he's still muted. So I will just tell you, if you figure out how to unmute yourself, that's fine, but it looks like he may be. Okay. Oh, and thank you for the proposed order that had all of the Zoom language and COVID-19 language in it. I really appreciate that.
I wasn't sure if people would be appearing like Mr. Greenhaw, so I couldn't really check any of the boxes for sure, but I know on some of those I wanted to put
No,
that.
I'm glad the language is in here because it takes me a really long time to write that stuff in. I want the orders to be accurate, and so it takes me a really long time. So when you guys type it in for me, I really appreciate it. Okay, great. So if I'm clear, the department's goal is termination of for all parents. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
As to both children?
Yes.
All right. And so mom has not demonstrated adequate compliance with her service plan. Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor, and she's the one that did have the relinquishment.
Okay, right. And then Mr.
And
Knoll
then-
obviously has not, because he's never appeared, never requested counsel. He's not been involved at all.
Correct.
And then you're stating Mr. Greenhaw has not demonstrated adequate and appropriate compliance either.
Correct, Judge. We haven't heard from him really since our hearing when he found out he was the dad, and the judge Judge Kim granted the extension. I think maybe Brianna heard from him once during that month, but then after that, we haven't heard from him. And then Ms. Hopkins gave us the update and let us know that he was going into treatment in Corpus Christi. I thought he was already in, but apparently he just was about to go in.
Okay, and then of course there's Mr. Brown, who
Right, we
we
were
just
unable to-
recently found.
Yes, and we
Okay.
just- yes.
Okay,
Your Honor, if I may.
yes,
Time of our last hearing, when the order was granted extending this, my client was going to be entering rehab in East Texas. And shortly after the hearing, there were, I'm not too sure what the reasons are, but that program or funding fell through. And then through the CPS case out of Sherman, he was able to find some connections and recently found this rehab that he's going to be going to in Corpus Christi. It said it took a while for a bed to be available for him.
okay. Well, I'm glad that he's doing that. And so, you know, I mean, this case isn't over yet, so we'll see how that works, and hopefully we'll be able to work out a way for him to appear for a trial. Let's see here. Okay, Ms. Van Hoof, how are the children?
The girls are doing very well. Other than the fact that, as I put in my report, Paisley has now discovered her inner supervisor. She apparently is being quite quintessentially 3 and is fairly certain she is the boss of everyone. And when you have a sister as strong-willed as Hayla, that quality is probably going to serve her well. But no, they're doing fine. The foster parents are both employed in essential jobs. So the girls are in daycare, but the foster mother had told me that other than the girls are basically at home or at daycare, and that's it.
All right. And they didn't get to take their trip because of the COVID pandemic.
Right.
I'm looking at your report too now. Okay, Hayla's doing her behavioral therapy.
Yes, they're trying. I actually ended up speaking to the foster mother again after I filed the report, and we talked a little further about trying to do it virtually. And they do try, but that's not really Hayla's preferred venue. Hayla's having a little trouble sitting still and paying attention and participating when they try to do it virtually.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just her. She probably doesn't do well with that kind of stuff. Some people do, some don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I would say the permanency goal is not to return to the home of the custodial parent at this point. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. So are there any relatives of Mr. Greenhaw that we know of, or we just haven't had a chance to talk with him that much to determine that?
Brianna, do we have a list of any relatives or anything from Mr. Greenhall?
No, ma'am, I'm gonna have to check into that.
And I'm sure Mr. Newman, I'm sure Mr. Ganoza will be on top of that. And I do want to say I did just come across her report that she submitted as well, that she's
Okay.
now at the Mid-Hoods County Jail. So I do have that. I'm just going through the order to make it looks like everything else has been addressed. Is the current foster home interested in adoption?
Yes, Your Honor, they are adoption motivated.
So I guess I think you guys already have an email sequence going because it's the one that Ms. Jewett sent to everyone and sent to the court coordinator. And actually Ms. Ganoza too was on it, sending her report in. If you guys can go back to that email thread with Stephanie to get a final date for late July. And then I'll let her write the date in the order.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll sign the order once I know you guys have that done. So is there anything else that we need to address for these guys?
I don't believe so. Not on our end, Judge.
No, anything else? Okay. Now, Ms. Van Hoove, are visits taking place at all?
No,
Okay.
the mother stopped visiting shortly after she executed the affidavits of relinquishment, and there have never been any visits for any of the fathers.
Okay. All right. Just checking. All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge.
Thank you. And then the next one we have is going to be clause number 105802, the Hunt matter.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Me as well, Judge. I'm not on those. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Good to see you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Actually, I don't think that's the one. I'm trying to figure out which.
Your Honor, if I can ask, what other of the 2 o'clock settings are you doing?
I can find it. Everything's kind of, I'm out of my groove doing things this way. I believe Ms. Bowers has one, the Miller Reyes
Yes.
term review after. And then I have a 3 o'clock judicial review on Hunt. And I do believe that is all. But the 3 o'clock judicial review will be done at 3:30 because we're having a staff meeting. So,
Okay.
And Judge, I think I have a perm after final that was set for today.
you do, but I believe you submitted a report, right?
I did not.
Uh-oh.
And it appears at least a majority of the emails have gone to Brian Simpson. So this wasn't on my calendar. And normally what I do is then I double check the docket for the upcoming week. And
Okay.
the docket for the upcoming week lists Mr. Simpson as well. So I didn't catch it on there either.
Okay.
And so I didn't know this hearing existed till about 1 o'clock when I got an email from Stephanie.
Let me see. Well, which one do you have?
Wilson children. And so
Why
what
does it say
happened?
Brian Simpson on there?
So he started out as the attorney for both children, and then there developed a conflict. And so he was taken off and I was put on. And so I was going to update the court that it's my intention to make contact with the client in the next few days and then report back to the court.
Okay, so how long ago was this that you were put on?
Oh, it's been quite some time since I've been put on, maybe a year and a half.
So I need to figure this out then, why that is happening to you.
In fact, I think Mr. Simpson's client may have aged out. So,
Okay, maybe that's why Stephanie, I mean, she said the only one we didn't get anything on was the Reyes one, unless she took it off the other docket, but okay, I will figure that out. And so I think if I have any questions when I'm reviewing the order and everything, that I will just reach out, but if that's all you know, that's all you know right now. So
absolutely, Judge, and I'll reach out to the respond, or excuse me, to the child this week and hopefully get in touch with him before Friday.
Okay. All right. So I don't know that anyone from the department is on or will be on. I'll wait here.
Your Honor, I don't think there are any more of mine, so I'll leave.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Van Hook. Have a good
Have a
day.
good day, Your Honor.
You too. Thank you.
And with With that, may I be excused, Judge?
Yes, Mr. Newman, thank you for bringing that to
Thank
my
you.
attention. Thank you. We'll get that fixed somewhere. Okay, well, I guess it's just you and I, Ms. Bowers, and I'm going to go ahead and call it cause number 78696. And this is just Brandon Reyes. I've got a report from the department that says that he is 18 and he's currently placed at Vision Quest.
That's correct.
He's in good spirits. He's now considered a high school graduate. That's good, from Polytech.
That's great.
That he wants to pursue his education by going to cosmetology school and culinary. Wants to learn how to cook. So he doesn't have to depend on a cook. Smart boy. Wants to go to his mom to help her out because she's supposed to have surgery, but he's not sure when. Before this came about, he was interested in the SIL program, and the department has informed him that that's his best route, and he does not need to go back to his mom and be set back. So what is your...
Well, my opinion on that is he definitely does not need to go back to his mother. She has her own mother who's still alive and who can help her out if she has surgery. She doesn't need to be depending on him for surgery. Her rights were terminated many years ago. This is the only case I have left. I quit doing CPS cases in 2007, and I've had Brian since he first came into care when he was about 3.
Yeah, I figured that when I saw your name on here, and then I saw how old he was.
Yes,
so.
yes. And I mean, he has been in many, many placements. He's had ups and downs, but finally, after all this time, he seems to be doing well. I'm really, really proud of him for graduating from high school. And he actually had pretty good grades. In a lot of the placements, part of the problem, Judge, has been that at times he wanted to dress as a female. I think he has some gender identity issues, and I don't know, I don't know the extent of those. I don't know if those still exist, but I do know that the fields he has expressed before, even to me, the fields he would like to go in. Well, he told me cosmetology. The culinary is new, but that's great.
Both involve creativity. So
Yes. And he is very creative. I hope he continues school. I hope he can. I don't know what the logistics are though for him going to Navarro College, because that's in Corsicana, I think.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that. Is that was something he said to you?
Yes. That was in the last report, that he wants to continue his education at Navarro College. And Navarro College is in Corsicana. Now he has the financial backing of the department to do that, if he wants to do that. But my only question is he going to live on campus? Because he can't live in Fort Worth and go. I don't think it would be very realistic to live in Fort Worth and go to college in Corsicana. I think that would be a little.
And what's the timeline for figuring out what furthering his education is going to be? Because I'm looking at my entries from when I first met him a year ago.
Right.
And I remember him now, we had a plan. He said he wanted to get his GED. He was going to do that. And his second goal was to, if he didn't do that, he just wanted to just flat out finish high school and graduate. So he did that. Those were his, right. I mean, he knew he had to do one or the other things, and he did it. And so I don't want him to be slowed down since he's doing so well right now. So do you know what the timeline is for him?
Well, everything's been closed, of course,
Yeah.
And so, but it's been indicated to me that a lot of colleges are planning on continuing in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, I would certainly like to see his caseworker make arrangements for him to be able to go. And it may end up being TCC. You know, that may end up being the best fit for him. I don't know. But I haven't seen him in a while. I will go over to Vision Quest and visit him.
Okay.
And just see how he's doing. I hope to be able to talk him out of this idea, because every time we've let him go with his mother, whose rights were terminated, Judge, way many years ago, she still uses drugs. And it just never works out. And he's always let down and disappointed when he goes with his mother, and always wants to come back into care.
Yeah, have I met him before? I feel like he did. Maybe he was here last year one time.
He probably was. And you know what? I wasn't there at that time. I was not able to be there. But he's a nice looking young African. Well, he actually is biracial. One of his parents is African American and his mother's white. And
I mean, I'm sure I had this conversation with multiple kids, but I feel like I do remember him in particular.
Yes.
Because he's been doing so well on his own, and I do feel like it would be a detriment to him, or a major setback to be around mom at this point. But
I do
he's
too.
an adult.
I know that was going to be my question. What if he decided that's what he wanted to do? I mean, there's really not anything we can do, is there?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm writing.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, he could decide to, but I don't think he's going to. I don't think he wants to leave care. I think he likes where he's.
Right.
I think he likes how well he's been doing also, and he's meeting his goals. And so that's what I would say to him if I were you, and you see him, that everything he said he's going to do, he's done it, and he's done it well, and so he needs to just kind of maintain that path.
Okay.
You know, he's still, once he gets his culinary degree or cosmetology, whatever he wants to do, you know, and he can consider mom all over again. So, all right, I think that's everything. So,
and you know, Judge, I apologize. I got an email, but I have never in the past done a written report on kids. I've just come to court and talked about.
Well, actually, we like to have the written reports, or at least certification that they have been supposed to at least file certification that they have been seen. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to come up with something to make sure that these reviews were still getting done, and that we had some kind of information for the kids. And so I think in the very beginning of the pandemic time, Stephanie sent that email out that we were going to do them all by submission of reports.
Okay.
And then we weren't getting some. And so then I went to, well, then we're going to have people appear by Zoom if we don't have reports, just so we can do a proper permanency review. So,
well, let me just assure you that I will go see him at Vision Quest, and I will send you a written report after I see him and let you know kind of what I think his temperature is about continuing on with his success. And again, I apologize for that. I don't think we've ever met, by the way.
No, thank you. I don't think so. I've seen you around, but I don't think I've officially met you. So thank you so much. And I would love to see that report back on him. So
I will get it to you. Thank you, Judge.
Right. Thank you. Have a good day. Yes,
okay.
Thank you, Ms. Bowers.
Thanks.
Judge, I think I missed the hall.
You know what, Mr. Your office mate, Mr. Newman, covered for you.
Oh, good. Okay,
so,
thank you.
So everything is good with that. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. I do believe that's all I have until 3 o'clock. So we will end the live stream.